Hmm. 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 This sucks. I have no idea. I just if I. Okay, we'll see. The issue is I don't know if you guys can still see. Basically, what's happening right now is that I'm wearing my glasses, but I don't want you guys to see the glare of the computer reflecting on them because that's just annoying. Um, but the thing is, I think part of the reason that this is an issue is because when I look at my screen right here, yeah, ignore the messy blah. That's what's shining on my glasses. So trying to figure out how to not have that be an issue. Well, maybe I just won't be able to wear them again. That really sucks. Because I don't know, because my camera's so itty bitty, as you just saw. See? Did I just wear them like this? Nope. What happens if I just move this over? And I can't figure this out, you guys. I'm just not smart. Yeah. So I actually think I'm just gonna take off my glasses. It'll make this a lot easier, but sorry. Okay. So taking them off because this is just gonna piss me off. And yeah, I know my case is nerdy, but I wanted a better case in case my case fell out of my backpack or something, because I don't want to have to buy a new pair of glasses. Excuse me. So, I'm sure you could tell I hacked off my hair again. And actually, the reason I'm doing this video is because somebody requested that I do a kind of update thing. And right now my arm really hurts. Oh, God, that hurts. So, yes, my hair is short now. Again. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, why did you cut it short? You were complaining about being short last time, that you wanted it to grow out. Well, it grew out. And I'm warm already as a person. So when my hair is really thick and very heavy. So when it's long, all I end up doing is just putting up in a ponytail anyways. So it's like, what's the point of having it long if I'm just going to put it in a ponytail? But also, one of the more important reason that I hacked it off again was because, and this is why I did it the first time, and this is why I have the piercings that I do, is that I get emotionally sick. Not like physically, spewing into a toilet, not like that. But when something really traumatic and tragic happens in my life, I get to a point where I have the impulse that I need to change something. I need to adjust something. Like I have this itch that I need to go and do something. And so since Wyatt's been gone, it's been really hard, you guys. It's been really, really hard. I feel very, very empty, and that the way that we've been going on about, his death, or the way that we've been reacting, or no, this is really annoying. I might just have to hold you. But the way that we've been, going on about his death isn't enough. Like, I feel that my world, my life has been so interrupted by his death. And I think that I'm uncomfortable and I am bothered that, even though, you know, I understand that life has to go on, but I don't feel like it's fair that it goes on so quickly. And, let's see, can I turn it? And, yeah, you know, it just bothers me. So, I felt like I needed to do something, and so I cut my hair. Yeah, it's short again. That's fine. I really am happy it's off my neck. That was irritating the shit out of me. So that's one update. Yeah, and I got this done yesterday. What's another update? Dead Week is this week. Dead Week basically being like the day or the week prepping for finals. And then the week after that are my finals, and then I'm done with fall term. Thank God. Thanksgiving was... I have an issue celebrating Thanksgiving now. When I was young, you know, being naive and oblivious to, you know, First Nations people and pilgrims and stuff, you know, you kind of go along with what you're taught in elementary school. Well, when you become smart enough to realize that that's a load of horse shit, you kind of decide that's something you don't want to celebrate. I mostly just call it, like, Fat Day, even though, like, every day is Fat Day for me. More like Giant Feast Day. So, you know, I don't think of it in terms of it being an American holiday, because I think that's a crock of shit. I think of it as being a day that, you know, people get together, they eat, they talk, they enjoy each other's company. But that, you know, that's the thing. I don't think that there should be a certain day set on the calendar for that. I think that should be every day. It's kind of absurd to me that it's not. And, you know, I was on Facebook and somebody had posted this meme about Black Friday, and it really makes a lot of sense. And it was, like, kind of disgusting when I read it, because it's kind of the truth about how we are in America. I mean, not everyone, but, you know, the people that go crazy with shopping on Black Friday. Talking about, you know, like, Thanksgiving, you know, you're supposed to make a list of all the things that you're thankful for, and then the next day, you know, you go out and buy all these things because you weren't thankful enough, or something like that. Like, you're not thankful enough to be content with what you have. You have to go out and buy a shit ton of stuff that same night. It's kind of stupid. But yeah, Thanksgiving was hard. It was hard because over these past couple of years, all the family traditions that I've had or been part of, and you guys, this is, like, really annoying, and I'm just getting really pissed off. All the family traditions that I've had have now been altered in some really annoying way. And it just... I'm not very good with making big transitional leaps like that. That's just not my forte. So, like... God, I don't even... We haven't put up Christmas decorations in a few years. I tried doing it myself one year, and it was just too heartbreaking, so I couldn't. I just refused to do it anymore. And then, Thanksgiving, normally what our family tradition was, let me say was, no, I'm going to take out my bobby pins. It used to be, sorry, that we would watch the Macy's Day Parade. Yeah, we watched the Macy's Day Parade, and then, my personal favorite was, which is kind of stupid, was the dog show afterwards, because I've loved dogs and animals since I was, like, a little kid, so I always, like, would make bets with myself about who would win the stupid dog show. Well, that we would do that every year, and even, when we didn't do, you know, Christmas and stuff, that was still something that we would still do on Thanksgiving, just my dad and I. Well, this year since we moved, we don't really have any kind of cable or anything hooked up, so I didn't get to watch it this year, which was really shitty in itself. But, you know, to have that and then not have Wyatt with us. Like, this is the first holiday he hasn't been here in, like, I can't recall him not being around because he was such a big part of my life. So that was really, really hard. Yeah. First holiday without him, it sucks. And he loved winter. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. Okay. I can get through this. Yeah. He loved winter. So, yeah, Thanksgiving just wasn't, it just wasn't good. And, I mean, it was good. I'm thankful that we, you know, we had it and I got to hang out with some friends and stuff. It just, it was hard. I think that's a better term. It wasn't that it was bad, it was just difficult. And you know, I've been thinking about, I mean, some big things in my life. I've been reprioritizing a lot of stuff in my life because of this death. And, I'm going to be honest with you guys. For a while there, I had considered just dropping out of school. And I know that sounds a bit ridiculous and far-fetched for people and that they think I'm being ridiculous. But I had this kind of horrific, and I've had it for a while, but it's not until something really kind of large and tragic happens that you deeply start to consider these things. Is, will it really matter in the end? Like, when I'm dead, or, you know, when I'm dying, will college really matter? Like, I don't know, I feel like matters of the soul are more important in life than school or, you know, whatever could ever be. That's just my own personal opinion. I know a lot of people are like, oh, what just happened? Sorry. This is what happens when I have a webcam and then I can see myself. I just get distracted. Anyways, what I was just saying, priorities are different. My priorities are a lot different than other people's priorities. And I get that, and that's fine. You know, to each their own. I don't, you know, like, if you think that college is, like, the most important thing in the world, then, you know, fine. Like, I don't care. It doesn't hurt me any. You know, good for you. But you know, people would ask me, what do you want to do with your degree? What do you want to get out of this? And I still cannot answer them. And you would think that 4 years in, you'd be able to give an answer, and I haven't been able to give an answer yet. So it's kind of like, I don't have an end goal that I'm after. Now, a lot of people who know that they want to be doctors or nurses or lawyers or, you know, whatever, you know, they have enough motivation to continue. I don't have an end goal to keep me motivated, so it's kind of hard for me to stick with it. Sorry, you guys, I just ate, so that's why I'm breathing deeply a lot. And I'm icing my back. My back really hurts right now. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things where I really didn't get what the big fat deal about college is now, because either way, I mean, if you have a degree or if you don't have a degree, you're not 100% guaranteed a job either way. So it's kind of like, why waste all this time being unhappy? No, if I'm not going to be guaranteed anything good in the end anyways, you know, and especially if I don't think that it really will matter when I'm on my deathbed, because it won't. And I believe that it won't matter. But, you know, I've already gone through so many years of school that I might as well just, you know, fucking finish it, because I'm going to kick myself in the ass if I don't, and I go to a class reunion, and I'm one of the people that said, oh, I, you know, dropped out this many years in and I didn't have, you know, enough balls to finish it. Like, that just sounds stupid. So I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna transfer schools. Like I said in, I don't know which video it was, but I had made that, you know, known that I was gonna do that. God, I'm so full. It's so hard for me to talk with tight pants on. Um, yeah. So I just want to let you guys know that I did think about dropping out. And I still, yeah, don't think that this will really matter in the end. I think it's about how, I think what matters, and this is my own personal opinion, so, you know, if you don't buy into it, that's fine, whatever. That it is how we nourish our souls and how we take care of each other and how we gain knowledge and, you know, stuff of that nature that is more important to me in my life, that has more value to me than getting a college education. It really does. Because, I mean, you can't take a college education with you when you're gone. That won't matter. So, yeah, I mean, really, I love learning. I love gaining new knowledge. But if I could compare two situations of me going out on my own with my own paycheck and feeding the homeless, which I've done. Okay, I did that a couple of years ago. On my own. Well, not on my own. I had a few friends help me, but, like, it was just spontaneously in my mind that I need to go do this for people. That felt more rewarding in that one day than my entire college career has to me. That one day versus 4 years. So, I mean, that's kind of where the whole priority thing comes into question. Yeah, so that's one update, or another update. And, you know, I don't really know how to articulate this correctly. So if I offend anyone, I do apologize, because that is not my intention. This whole Ferguson thing, I'm not trying to underplay it, because it's a pretty horrible situation. Where I'm at, I mean, I'm on the West Coast, and we have protests and riots here over this thing. And basically what I wanted to talk about was kind of the decorum of how people publicly create a type of riot or spectacle. Because, yeah, I was on a train home from class to my house. And the train stopped because, you know, we had protesters walking down all the streets. God, I don't know how many, you know, chanting with their hands up and, you know, picket signs. And I got, you know, chills hearing them, because I didn't know where it was coming from. And all of a sudden you hear the chant coming through the streets. And that was kind of cool. But, and I'm going to make this comment about, I'm not going to say her name. If she watches this, she knows who she is. And it's nothing against her at all. No, I think she's a remarkably wonderful, smart, passionate, fierce woman that I respect immensely. But she had made a video, and it's not just her. I've seen this throughout my life, and it's something that has bothered me for a while. She had posted this video talking about a trip that she went on, and, oops, sorry, something on my screen. And, she ran into these preachers who, you know, these sidewalk preachers that would just, you know, go on and ramble and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, people would get really bothered by these preachers and, you know, would yell back at them. And there was some footage of that. And, you know, there is kind of the shouting fest of profanity. And I know I'm not one to talk about profanity because I spew it all the time. um, you know, and insults and stuff like that, and you know, really nasty words. And then in the end, this group came out and like started, you know, playing their drums and chanting and doing stuff in opposition to this preacher guy. You know, I'm not saying that that's bad. And in the video, the woman was saying that that there were like a couple teenagers or something. Don't quote me on this. I'm trying to, you know, paraphrase what she had said. That there were like some teenagers that were getting really pissed off at the preacher and like were kind of coming towards him or something. And she had said, you know, don't do that. You know, you're only going to be as bad as him. And you know, I feel like the people who, because I'm not saying that the preacher's right, and I guess it totally depends on what the preacher is preaching about. Sadly, even though it's a double-edged sword here, freedom of speech, you can talk about whatever the hell you want to, and nobody can do a damn thing about it. So people have to live with that. But, yeah, again, it depends on what the preacher's talking about. But I feel like the people who stop and kind of rile the preacher up more, they're just making more of a spectacle. And it, like, when our state lifted the gay marriage ban, we had preachers on my campus with signs that say, you know, homos are going to hell and homosexuality is a sin and blah blah blah, you know, preaching and taking out their Bibles and whatever. You know, guess what? Freedom of speech, they can say that. You know, and I didn't think it was right, personally for me, for them to be doing that, because, you know, it's kind of an attack on the homosexuals there. You know, that bothers me. I just wish that people could preach, you know. One of the things about Christianity that bugs me a bit, I'm not saying that all Christians are like this, you know, because they aren't. But there are some that will act, no, holier than thou, da 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 da. Like, you know, love and peace and harmony, until they find something that they do not like, and they will whip out a Bible verse and attack you with it. And I just think that's just loaded with hypocrisy, and it just pisses me off. You're being a hypocrite if you do that. You know, because there's this whole unconditional love thing that you're supposed to be preaching, until you find a condition, and there you go. Then that love is no longer there. It's hate, and it's judgment. But anyways, yeah, so we had these preachers going, rah, rah, with their signs and their Bibles and their stuff. But then, you know, there were a lot of students who, me included, just because I wanted to hear what was being said, that kind of made a circle around this guy. Or guys. There were 3, I think. 3 preachers. And, there was so much, and I expected it, but it made me really sad. Not that backlash was said, but the fact that we come to the point where that is like the only option that people have. That we come to the point that we have to have people preach and hate and judgment and all this crap, and then that creates more hate from the people who are watching at this, you know, individual preaching his own thing. Like, it made me really, really upset and perturbed, and I didn't like it. It bothers me. Like, you know, there were some people that went out and did like fake proposals in front of the preacher, and like took out their sex toys and were like chasing him around and stuff. And that's if you do stuff like that, in my opinion, if you do stuff like that, then you are no better than the preacher. You're not. You're just not. I mean, he's attacking people, but you're also attacking him. That doesn't make you any better. So, I feel like when it's hard for me to hear, people who are part of the revolt and say, oh, don't do this because you're just going to be as bad as him. But being part of that, that kind of response towards the preacher is just as bad. I feel like it would be one thing it's hard for me to explain. I feel like it would be one thing if he was like attacking an individual right there in front of you, but the gay community is so huge that it's kind of hard to, take arms against, for one individual. It's hard for me to explain. There's like peaceful protests, and I feel like I kind of saw that when the people for Ferguson were, going down the street with their hands up and chanting. And then it's one thing to be spewing insults and profanity and, chasing a preacher around with sex toys because he's against homosexuality. I feel like there's a different degree there. I don't think a lot of people get that. I don't know where I was actually going to go with this, but it was just a thought that I had that I've been thinking about. Yeah. But like I said, I really respect this woman. It was just a comment in the video that she had made that, and it's nothing against her. It's just reactions that I've seen, people in my own life have done the same thing. And it's just a bit bothersome to me. So that's one thing. And I just wish that the people I don't feel like people should listen to the preaching. I don't think that's really important. I think the preaching that people should pay, attention to are the actions that are being done. I feel like what people say and spew, Christianity-wise, excuse me, is really, really hateful. And I'm not, again, not all Christians are like this, so if you are a Christian and you're not like this, awesome. But then, it's the people that, I just feel like it's the people that, go out and spend, and I'm not saying this about myself because I just mentioned this isn't about me and what I did, but the people who do go out and volunteer and feed the homeless or donate to this, or people who act and physically do things to create a type of change, they need more attention, and I feel like they are severely undervalued in comparison to the people who are, homosexuality is a sin on the bus. It bothers me. I'm sorry, you guys. This is a really kind of, again, not so nice video, but I don't really have a lot to talk about. Well, I'm sorry, Frankie, but you have nasty stuff stuck in your armpit fur, okay? That's what happens when you run around in the dirt. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say. I really don't. Really kind of boring here. So, those are just my little... Oh! Oh, okay, so that's right. So I thought that kind of make this a kind of make this like a weird little tag thing about like the top 5 things you would want for Christmas. It was just a little bit more of a happier thought. So, yeah, I think, you guys can make a video response or just, type in comments, whatever. But what are the top 5 things you want for Christmas? Now, I have been asked what I want for Christmas, and it is hard for me to answer because, well, I'm not a child. So, like when you're a little kid, you kind of just want whatever's popular and new or whatever. I don't really give a shit about that right now. And I kind of, first of all, we're kind of broke, so it's hard to ask for things anyways. But when you kind of have a lot of things already, it's kind of hard to ask for more. So this took me a while. And they're very, very simple, actually. Here we go. Now the dogs are going to freak out. Give me a second. Alright. Okay. Much better. Okay. So, on my list, let me grab it. It's on my phone. Whew. This is a really long video. Sorry, you guys. Going back. Okay. These are not in any specific order. Like, I don't want one more than I want the other. But, on my list, the first thing I said was a trip to buy 10 more pairs of pants. I have a rough time finding pants. So, when I do, it's a miracle, but it seldomly happens. So, I would like to buy 10 more pairs of pants. That is a variety of jeans and sweatpants. Both. I like them both. Yes. Next one. A pair of nice warm boots with awesome traction on the bottom. Now, the reason I say that is because out on campus, we have a lot of brick. That's kind of, how do I want to explain it? I don't really understand what's on the top of these bricks, but they make it so that you slide easily. Well, you already have that with like rain, but it gets icy out there, and I don't have a lot of shoes that are good with ice, and I would prefer to not slide down a sidewalk trying to go to class. So, nice fuzzy boots with traction. The next one, I said I need to go bra shopping. I do. I am low on comfortable bras, and I just need more. I don't really know how to explain that any more than just I need more bras. This one I need to look into with the new health insurance, but I want to look into a gym membership. Sounds like something I need to do. I really do need to start working out and getting healthier. And the last one, which is a bit ridiculous, and people are like, why is this on the list? Another one of the kind of Christmas, 'tis the season traditions that we would have is burning cinnamon candles. I love cinnamon candles, probably just for the reason that it used to be like it's one of those things where if I smell it, I get happy because I know like Christmas is coming, that sort of a thing. So on that list, I want a cinnamon Yankee candle. Okay, so you guys can like just type in the comments about the top 5 things you want for Christmas or Yule or whatever you celebrate. It's all good. See you next time.